Welcome to our Flourish podcast. I'm your host today, Gabrielle. I'm here with my co-hosts, my daughter Marcella.
Hello.
And Cruz,
what's
our
up?
buddy. And Miss Polly is joining us over Skype. Thank you, Miss Polly.
Hello.
And our spider helping us with all the technical problems and stuff that's going on. And we are very honored to have a very special guest on today, Miss Dora Chu, who I adore.
Well, you're spectacular too.
That is a headline.
That's my
spectacular
You're
Miss Dora.
spectacular.
Yes.
Nice.
All of y'all are
Oh, thank you.
I met
fashionably.
Yes. I met Miss Dora at an amazing baby shower
Yes,
one
beautiful
time.
shower.
Beautiful shower.
Mhm.
And I just was so drawn to your energy and your spirit. And I thought you were so kind and so spunky. And how you dress is just incredible.
I love your look.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, y'all are a feast for the eyes too. I'm having a nice aha moment here. Thank you.
Well,
Y'all are just kind. Mhm.
I just wanted to start off with, first and foremost, your website is spectacular.
Oh, thank you. When did you look at it? I just had it down.
I looked at it the last few days and I was like,
thank you.
this is an incredible website. I just was amazed by it all and everything that you're doing. Your new show, tell us a little bit about it.
All right. My new show is intoxicating. And I'm kidding.
Tell us the name. Tell us the name.
It's well, let me give you just a tiny bit of background.
Give us the
Okay,
background.
from doing fashion events,
Uh-huh.
I used to travel and I did New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
And I did, not a lot, but I did it. And I did Paris once. 2 years ago, I wanted to go back. It was the most fun I've ever had.
Was it?
Amazing.
Why?
In the fashion scene.
Tell me why.
Because the venues were just so light and bright. Everybody there was open and kind and to die for. And there was no attitude.
Oh,
Not like you
nice.
find in New York.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Mhm.
I'm surprised by
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I would
no
think
attitude.
Completely opposite.
Yeah.
Yes. And my editor and I would be looking at people to post some of the things and we'd be like, wow, what a powerhouse. So many powerhouses. I also loved doing the events in Dallas. So when things open up, I'll probably come back and do a few of those again too.
Nice.
But it's really a matter of chasing after people.
Right.
And
We know that.
yeah, you understand. It's like, sometimes it's fun to go walk up and down and, pick someone who's got a lot of color on or has a really cool vibe to them. But now the show is centered on food and fashion. And the end result is I want y'all to have, after you watch something, is to feel good about who you are. Because we
I love
all
it. I
need
love it.
to feel good about ourselves.
Yes.
100%.
We're all made wonderfully.
What is your show called?
We have a special name and it's called Spectacular Choose
that's-
because
okay.
we're doing food and fashion.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
So
What
the
a
show's
smart-
evolving.
It's kind of a pun with your
evolving.
last name
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yes,
I love
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Yes.
If
So
I know,
smart.
I know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, then after you think of a name, then you think of a zillion more. And then you're like,
course.
that name would be great too. But
And how
But
long?
we're sticking
How
with it.
long have you done it for, or is it new?
the Spectacular Choose we started probably last fall.
Okay.
And I really can't say because it's like a little bit of a hush
Gotcha.
hush right now, but there
Okay.
is something really cool going on,
Can't
which I
wait.
can share hopefully in the near future.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes. So we're really, really excited.
Now, this won't air for a few weeks. Is it as soon as that or?
We
Is it
might
gonna
know
be
more. We might know more in a few weeks. So then
Okay.
we can.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
So when you have guests, like when you interview people that are cooking,
Mhm.
correct? That's
Or
what you
maybe
do.
presenting a meal.
Presenting a meal.
Yes. Either in a restaurant or a home or
How
somewhere.
do you pick them? How do you choose?
We like diversity, a different personalities,
Right.
different backgrounds.
All Dallas.
Well, I am not planning on doing all Dallas.
Oh, you're not.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. We're probably going to go out and do
Good.
other. I have a few actor friends in LA, and one of them was interested, but he's like, Dora, I just don't cook. And I'm like, well, just put your microwave meal on the table.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
Present
There you
it.
go.
Present it. He's like, I don't know.
So
So, yes.
I want to know, like, how you, what do you do? Like, how did you come to be into fashion? Like, all that stuff. Is that what your main thing is, fashion? Or?
Okay, well, I do love fashion, as we were saying. It's kind of an obsession.
Okay.
I can't
can
help
tell.
it. I dream.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
really?
can definitely
tell,
see
yes.
that.
Okay.
Yes. I would like to rewind a little bit
Yeah, I
more
think sure.
back and go a little bit more from like what made you, starting in fashion, like as younger, I know
Mhm.
I think I started kind of getting into fashion when I was like in the 6th grade.
Mhm.
Good. Oh,
All my
cool.
friends were still kind of into toys, and I was like, that's when like Guess jeans came out.
I
don't
can
know
see that.
how
I wanted
old
to
I
dress
was.
like
6th
everybody
grade, I
else
think
did
I
it.
was probably like 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Guess jeans
Yeah.
had just came out, and I wanted some so bad. I even got girls' jeans because it was before they made them for guys.
How did they fit?
I mean,
They were great.
I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Were
So-
you like that as a child?
You know what? I loved clothes, but I don't think it was until college.
Okay.
Well, this is what happened. I raided my brother's closets and wore a lot of their stuff.
And just
At
kind of made it
SMU?
like in your own
SMU?
way, though.
Yeah,
right?
and a lot of people, I mean, like, there were some trends that kind of started. But then my senior year, I got real lazy when I was at SMU, and I ran around all the time in tennis shorts and a visor. I was so bad.
I cannot see you like
And then
that.
I dressed up occasionally.
So
And
did
that's
you go
all
to
I could do.
school for this?
Oh, no, I
I
didn't.
know
But
it's a
what hap-
passion in some people, but then there's also like a structure to it.
Well,
as
you know what? I loved, so now what it is it's all about helping people through humor and just, understanding who we are and how we all relate to one another and how we really are all the same.
Mhm.
That's what my show's about. But fashion to me a long time ago brought that same dynamic out because I styled girls and I'd style
So you
myself.
were like a stylist.
I was like a stylist, but you know what? This is back in the heyday when consignment was great before it went online.
Mhm.
And we would go
Wow.
to some of the stores here and we would just there'd be so many things and I'd get someone so dolled up for like a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, even
And they would
vintage, even
transform.
vintage.
Oh, yeah,
stuff was-
vintage is
was
great, too.
inexpensive. Now it's
Yes,
like
I
there's
know.
no such
I
thing
know.
as vintage stores or thrift stores.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know how it is when you get dressed up and you look at yourself or you just get dressed up, you don't even have to look at yourself.
How you feeling
You
yourself?
feel
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
You just feel like you could have not been feeling well and then
Get
you
that
get dressed up and you're
confidence.
like, yeah, it's confidence.
Yeah.
So I think fashion helped me because it was a step toward building my own confidence.
Mhm.
But then I had to find it from other sources too. It's not just from your clothes. You get it from
And
above,
especially
you
with
get
your
it from-
style, it's like unique. It's so different.
Thank you.
I love it.
Well, experimenting is really good for people.
Some
but
people are
style's a
scared
part
of that.
Yeah,
though.
I
Some
know.
people are scared to
True.
experiment, with their style. And like me, it's hard
Mhm.
for me to wear color. My favorite color.
Well, you
is
shouldn't do color then.
black.
I don't really
light
see you.
black,
Yeah.
dark black, medium black.
Gray on an adventurous day.
On Adventures Day, I'll do white.
Yeah. White. Yeah. Well, white's actually a good color for you too.
I do black, white. I have a little
Yeah.
bit of blue.
Right.
You know
what? You could do a really popping royal blue with a good piece, like a
love
Versace piece
royal
or something.
blue.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
royal blue.
If it's
Love
something's
royal
really
blue,
well
too.
cut, you can do something that you wouldn't normally do.
I mix my
It's well
sneaks. Like
cut.
I'll do all black, and I have like my sneaks are
What color would they be?
different. I like
Oh,
the Jordan
yellow
ones, so
or-
I just
yeah.
have all different colors.
I bet you have like a warehouse full of sneakers.
I have a lot. Of sneakers.
That is not surprising.
Yeah.
Dora,
Yeah.
take us back actually to how did you grow up? Ended up at SMU.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit more about you.
My parents met in Pittsburgh. My father was my mother's
Pittsburgh.
professor.
What?
Wow.
Ah.
She liked
She
smart
got
men.
an A.
She likes
Oh, yeah.
smart
A plus. What do you do? She didn't have to study either.
I like that.
Yeah. So I grew up with scientists. They were scientists, actually.
Wow.
way.
My dad, yes, it was hard. It was hard. I had a hard childhood. I mean, a lot of people could say that.
But in what way?
Well, it's just that my dad was really strict.
Mhm.
I feel
My
you.
mother was submissive Asian female, went along with everything my dad said. And I had to become my own person.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's kind of funny how that affects you, because I remember one of my brothers, his kids, they were so undisciplined. I mean, he just let them do everything they wanted. You know, it's funny because you go the other way.
Yeah.
you do the
So I
opposite.
rebelled, and I remember that they were so techie that I was like, I was the last person I knew to own a cell phone, because, you know, I just went the other way. My dad wanted me to go to China when I was younger to see how people really lived. And I was like, no. So my dream was Europe, and I actually lived in Paris for a year later.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I lived in Paris. That was a long time ago. And we moved down here, and I went to Ursuline, and then I think it was, you know, we had a uniform. We couldn't express ourselves like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very shy. But then at SMU, I started coming out of my cocoon, and then I started becoming a whole new person. And there was a lot of difficulty along the way with that. And I realized that I had been searching, and I just needed to know that I was really loved. And I kind of found some love. I mean, I have to say that a lot of it came from above. It was just like a divine source. And after doing that, you get to a part where life isn't going to be what it's supposed to be unless you're imparting that to other people.
Yes.
So I started doing that through fashion because that was my comfort zone. And then moving out, I got asked to help with this fashion group here. And my first interviews were at an exclusive fashion event here in Dallas. It was
First ones. Wow.
my first ones.
Were you
Nice.
nervous?
Oh my gosh. I was convinced that day that they were going to call me and say, we don't need you. It was like that. I was like, because I couldn't believe they were asking me to do it. It was star-studded, but I have done a little bit of acting in the past, and I've done improv, and
Wow.
I love improv.
That's
because-
impressive. I feel like that's so hard.
Oh,
It
well, but you know what?
Improv
If
is
you have
hard.
Oh, she said
Yep.
improv's hard.
Oh, no, it isn't.
No?
No. It
For
isn't
me, it
hard.
is.
Pardon? I know it sounds hard, but it's intimidating. But once, it's kind of like, you know how to get up in the morning and go to the refrigerator and open the refrigerator door and get your whatever it is you want out. Okay, we all know how to do that
Yeah.
in our sleep. Well, when you know the principles of improv, you can do it in your sleep.
Just
Because-
comes natural to you.
Yeah, after you learn, it's kind of like a learned skill.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it helps to have a little bit of spontaneity within yourself and a little bit of maybe you can't worry about what other people think.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I would think.
But once you learn it, it's so great. And the big thing about improv, and that changed my life too. That was another thing that changed my life. First was realizing that I was really loved. And then two, that it's really all about making that person next to you look good.
Yeah.
And yes, it's all about making that person next to you look good.
Because if they look good,
Then you look good. Yes. Yes.
I love that.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
And that goes along with interviewing. It's making the other person look good.
Right.
And when you focus on that.
So they chose you to style. Were you already kind of in the scene, and you were kind of
interview.
dressing
To interview.
Right.
To interview.
Well, no, I'd been dressing myself just with funky things. And
And is that how you got discovered, or did you actually pursue?
I think I put this little funky video out on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. We took it down since way down. It was a little makeover video. And it was funny because I just played a zany character, and they saw it. And
I don't think you were acting.
well, you know what? Sometimes it takes a while because you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
We all put ourselves out there in
Right.
some way or another.
Right.
But you know, I have a few friends in LA that I've talked to occasionally through the years, and they're real supportive because they're like, you know what, Dora, you can't worry about what people think because you're putting yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, you have to get through that first. Hey, I'm putting myself out there, and still this day, sometimes I put something out, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if people are going to like this or
I
not.
do that too.
You know, we all
Still.
worry,
Still.
but you know, when you get that moment of fear, that's when you know you should do it.
You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
I love that.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, along with that, it's all about baby steps.
Mhm.
Baby steps.
You take
Yeah,
a baby
just
step.
getting there.
If you want to do something, take a baby step. And then you'll see through the circumstances, how you feel, you'll get your direction for the next one. Then you take another baby step.
Yeah, one step at a time.
One step at a time. Rome wasn't conquered in a day. And
how do you eat an elephant? A piece at a time.
I love elephants.
Eat an elephant.
I love elephants. They're just like,
Me too.
I'm obsessed with elephants too.
Yes.
Elephant videos.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah,
oh my
me
gosh.
too. I do
Have you
it.
seen that little elephant that stops in the middle of the road and scratches itself?
No,
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
think so.
He
But I
scratches
love
in the road
I love
and he
all
scratches
those.
himself and he's like, he's just the cutest thing. And
Those
then
are
his
my
parents
favorite,
come along. Yeah.
the animal videos.
Oh, I know.
I just
know,
watch 'em.
I know.
All
all the
right.
time.
So you're at SMU.
Yeah.
And, okay. And then you get this interview.
Mhm.
And then what happens?
I went with them to New York. I wasn't really ready for it. And then the group kind of fell apart.
Okay.
So I didn't do anything for a couple of years with it. And I know that people would ask me, Dora, come interview at the event. And I'd be like, But then I did an interview at a local vintage store here called Jack Retro. I interviewed a friend of theirs. He's a fashion personality. And it kind of just went a little bit viral. And I was just ready. And I started like interviewing people. I went back and started doing events again. And I work with, but I have a team. And what people have to understand is that all my stuff now that you see, like you led my website, it's all a team.
Yeah.
Like the lady that built the site for me, the people that I worked with, the people that I shot with, the people that edit for me, or the guy that edits for me, the guy that shoots at my makeup artist, my creative consultant.
Takes
He's
a
so important.
village.
A creative
It takes a village.
consultant.
I have a creative
Oh my
consultant.
goodness.
What is that exactly?
But you're the
He's-
brain of
Yeah.
it all, and you kind of handle everything, right? This is your vision, and people kind of,
They come
wanna
along.
help you.
And then they develop a passion too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love. And I realized that when I'm shooting a video, like I just shot a fashion video a couple weeks ago, and I love it. But a lot of it is just that I felt so comfortable. And David Hichoa, who shot it, is so great, and we worked so well together. We did a lot in 1 hour. And then my creative consultant is my improv coach, Colton
Oh, wow.
Winburn.
What?
He's a
Okay.
performer at 4-Day Weekend Comedy, and I go see him perform. I love those guys. I work with some of them also, and they're just amazing people. And Colton and I have been working together for 3 years. I just talked to him today. So we're getting ready to build an entourage for the next effort,
Love
and he's going to be
Wow.
one of the characters. He'll have an Aussie accent. He'll be from Australia.
But they
There'll be
make-
drama. So what we're doing is we're building drama in now. We've done a little bit of drama. We really like it, but there always has to be a message. So it's going to be more entertainment based, but still to have a message. So we're
But to
kind of growing.
find all these people
Yeah.
is extremely difficult. Like to find someone that actually can see your vision and bring it to life, like your website is. I am going to be honest, I've tried that for years. I've worked with so many people and it's never happened how I
Really?
saw it. No, it's very difficult to find people
You know what?
that are like that.
You should use my website, girl.
I mean,
But I did have another website before that, and it just wasn't going.
See?
It wasn't
it's
going
hard.
great.
Yeah.
So I got on Wix and I emailed a few people, and this girl gets back to me. Her name is Smriti. She's from iTester Web Design. She had watched all my videos.
Oh
She
my
knew all my
goodness.
stuff. I was
Wow.
like, I don't remember that video. Oh, Dora, you were doing this. I went, okay. All right. And so she said, I'd like to build your website. We agreed on stuff. She's still to this day, we WhatsApp. Right now she's in India, but she has a home in Washington.
Oh wow.
But they're back home in India. They live on a mango plantation.
Oh my
they
goodness.
live on mangoes.
Yeah.
And they're there during the pandemic, which is kind of hard. And you should talk to her because
I might.
it's so great when you find someone who
Really
loves
gets it.
you
Yes.
and is your fan.
yes.
Yeah. So who gets you and what you're
Right.
doing.
Are
Yeah.
you on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes, but
Mainly?
my station, we haven't really developed it. I have
Okay.
very few followers. I like my Instagram is probably the most
That's the
active.
thing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Instagram is lit.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's growing. It's growing.
I love
Thank
it. I love
you.
all your pictures.
Oh,
and
thank
it really, your
you.
personality really shows
I know.
through.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We're really happy about my new reel.
I was watching your episode on the Chop House Burger.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Isn't that
great.
fun?
Yeah.
Well, what we decided with the Chop House Burger is that we asked the chef, who is amazing, to design burgers or for me a salad based on what we were wearing. But what we realized is that it really doesn't work for a restaurant, because then people will see that and they'll all go to the restaurant and say, we want to order our own special thing. So now I'm just matching what the dish is. I'm matching them.
Oh,
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we talk about the dish.
And extra garnish. I see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so food and fashion hasn't been done, but everybody loves to eat.
Mhm.
Yes.
We all love to eat. So we've done a couple pie things. The last one we did that we edited was the Emporium pies.
like that place.
And she was great. Megan Wilkes is great. We did the pie in the face lightning round where she got to throw my pie in my face.
No way.
Because she won.
Oh my God.
So you'll have to watch it.
What kind of
Yeah.
pie was it?
It was, I think that one was the Dr. Love.
Ah.
Throwing some love at me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love in your face.
So I dressed to match the pie and I had a red velvet hat from Gratitude Vintage, which is darling. Yeah. So cute.
Now, in your bio
Mhm.
on your website, it says that you're not a stranger to life's challenges.
Yes. Yes.
Our show has been the thing that we have liked the most is that we have had guests on that open up about challenges, and in the end it helps them, and it always reaches somebody, and that has been our most proud moments. And actually just lately we had someone on the show that came back to us and said that the counselor and therapist said that it actually helped him
To open up.
in his healing process because he opened up on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel the same. Same
and
thing happened to me.
Cruz,
Yeah.
his story when he talked about his greatest
My
life
wife
challenge.
passed away, and I talked about it, and it was the first time that I spoke about it, just ever. And wow, it was an amazing feeling, that you just have all this weight just off your shoulders.
So I didn't know if you were interested to share or not. Either way is fine. I don't know what your life's challenges were.
Oh, well, there were a lot. Yeah, there have been a lot.
What's the
Probably the biggest one is healing with my father,
Mhm.
because your father's so important in your life.
Mhm.
I have that.
Yes, and I did see more people have it, and it's like you want to know, you want to feel that you're loved by your father
Mhm.
and that you're unconditionally accepted, and I didn't feel that at all.
Same.
I felt because a lot of it was cultural,
Mhm.
because in China you're a second-rate citizen if you're a woman.
I've heard
You
that.
know, yeah, it's too bad. It's so sad. A lot of countries, though, it's like that, actually. And actually, the Latina culture, I've met quite a few
some
people
more
who
than
are
others,
Italian
but I
who
feel
are like that, too.
definitely it's unequal.
Yes, which
Mhm.
is, it breeds a lot of insecurity, and you feel that you're not worthy.
Mhm.
Anything that's thrown at you when you're a kid that says you're less than, you receive a hidden message
Yes.
that you're less than, it happened because something was wrong with you.
Mhm.
So my challenge, and thank the Lord for his grace over me, but was to recognize all of that and to realize that I was fed a lot of lies and that I am a fearfully, wonderfully made creation. Now, I don't say fearfully all the time. I say wonderfully, because my friend from LA said fearfully sounds weird. Wonderfully sounds better. But in the
It
Bible,
does.
it's fearfully, wonderfully.
It
But I
is
like,
fearfully, yes.
but I do like the fact that I do stress we are wonderfully made. And I think if people grasp that, the world would be a much better place, because when you know that you have value,
Mhm.
you won't do a lot of things that you would do if you didn't think you did. Because I think that insecurity is what causes us to mess up and hurt other people.
I find it
Yes.
interesting that you say that you received the love from God, because they say God is the father for the fatherless.
Yes.
And
oh, yes.
that was taught to me by my son, actually,
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I never forget that because it was like instant. I was like, well, wow,
Yes.
that makes everything different.
He becomes your father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he actually helped me heal to the point that when my father passed away, we made peace. And I said, I love you. And I didn't say I love you, even though you did this, this, and this, and this, and
You
that.
just said I love you.
I just said, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he received it was just like so beautiful. And I knew he loved me, but he just had so much stuff over him. Like people want to do things.
Forgiveness. I feel that was like kind of forgiveness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Major, but just also kind of a reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
And also seeing the truth that a lot of times we expect things out of our parents, and it's not that they don't love us, but they aren't able to show it. And I remember years ago, I went to someone, said, my parents don't love me. She said, well, my dad doesn't love me. Have you read the 5 languages of love or the languages of love? And I went, that book, whatever. But what happened is that now I recognize that there is a lot of value in that. I just wasn't ready to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But people just show love in different ways.
Absolutely.
Like if a father goes to work every day and provides for his family, that is an act of love because he doesn't have to do that.
Yep.
You know, he just, did you make peace with your father?
No, he
Not-
passed away with no interest.
No
in
interest.
wanting to do so. So that was difficult. But then at church one day, it was really interesting. They gave us this task to do. If there was someone in your life that you had, something like that with your dad or anyone else for that
Yes.
matter, that you have to forgive them for your own self. And you should
Yes.
write down all these things. And you
Yes.
actually writing to that person, I
Yes.
forgive you for blah, 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 blah.
Each
blah,
thing.
In each thing. And then we had to pin it on this thing. And then that's how you let go of all of it.
Oh,
And it was really, important for me to do that because when you have a father or a mother or someone that important that you reach
Yes.
out to constantly and they will not reach back to you is very hard for a while.
it's very, very
Mhm.
hard. I think it's one of the most hurtful things. If you can recognize what's really going on, then
Right.
you can come out of it
right.
like really gifted. I went to a ministry here, and the guy that led it, this is many years ago. I haven't talked to him forever. I don't know how he's doing, but it's a ministry he had, and this guy with a pot belly and a big Hawaiian shirt, and he had affected all these people I knew.
Mhm.
And he had been born to a mother that didn't want him, to a father that didn't want him. But he went on and recognized a lot of things and founded a ministry that really helped a lot of people.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And then one of my old pastors, I'm not, quote, religious. I don't go to church every Sunday. I normally don't.
But there's
Talk
a
about-
message.
It's a message. God's not on my platform because I'm not, I'd rather show it through action.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to tell everybody I'm a Christian and then do something wrong and go, typical Christian,
Right.
But I just would rather it show, and then people get, like we all bless each other.
Right.
And, okay, hold a second. We were saying.
That minister with the Hawaiian shirt. he
Oh,
blessed
yes.
so
Well,
many
then a pastor that I know, his wife used to be my second mother, and they've influenced so many people I know, this couple.
people. Wow.
Like really cool people too, like the coolest people. And he had been born to a woman who had 5 husbands, who was as lost as heck. But he discovered his source and went on to tell so many of us so many good things.
Right.
And so I think what's hard is that we tend to take things personally.
Always.
Yeah, we always take things
Mhm.
personally. But I think one of the big things too is recognizing that when you've been hurt, and we've all been hurt, it's
Right.
just a matter, it's a hurtful world, is one of the hardest things, but it's one of the best things is to not take it personally. To not take it like, this is because of me. Because that's not the truth. And
Right.
that will keep you down. And then it's kind of like you talking about what happened. It's like it's a burden off of you when you let go of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And yeah. And we're all going to see each other again, hopefully one day.
Yeah.
You'll see your dad above.
Mhm.
And
Hopefully.
too, I feel like, I always say this, you only know what you've been taught. So he was probably raised a certain way, and then now he's raising his children that way, and then you kind of breaking the cycle. So that's a good thing.
That's exactly, and I have heard people so many times say, "Oh, well, can't believe my parents didn't know better." And they, sometimes when you raise your own children, I've heard my friends say, "You know what? Now I didn't know that. My mom could have done it better."
There's
why
no
didn't
books.
she know? But,
Yeah. Nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we all do our best, and I think
Yes.
recognizing that you do your best,
Yeah, and I think that is also each person. Some people have certain demons that they just can't
Yes.
get over their own self. So that's where you say, don't take it personal.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
Yeah. And I mean, I've heard so many stories,
Right.
but I grew up surrounded by a lot of people that were cookie cutter, but it turns out that some old friends of mine that grew up in cookie cutter homes, you find out later that it wasn't so cookie cutter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you
We see that
definitely
a
break
lot.
the mold.
Oh, yeah.
You do.
You definitely break the mold.
Oh, thank you. Well, I meant that everything was kind of like Beaver Cleaver.
Right.
Yeah, and in
It was
reality,
all
it's not.
appeared
Yeah.
so fabulous.
Yes.
But
And,
it's never really like
I mean,
that.
I have a friend that used to travel around the country telling everybody how great her marriage was, but her husband was having affairs,
Mhm.
And it's like things are not always as they appear, and we
No.
can't be looking at other people. I interviewed Dave Wilk. He was a 4-day weekend, one of the co-founders. Amazing. He taught me improv many years ago, my first improv class, and that really affected me. And he said, comparing yourself is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
gosh,
other people.
yes.
You
and
gotta
I
compare
think-
yourself to your last, whatever it was you did last, but you have to
Mhm.
compare yourself to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or to other people looking around at your, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to look at someone else too. And-
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
And you don't know that, the struggles that they went through to get to where they're at either.
Yes, the years
So,
maybe that they
yeah.
were
I mean,
plugging
everybody just
away.
looks at, the success, but nobody ever
Right.
looks at the struggle to get to that
Yes.
success.
Yeah.
When everybody's like, oh, I want that life. I want that life. I mean, I get it a lot. I mentor, I'm a stylist and I mentor, and they're always wanting to be where I'm at. And I was like, I've been doing this shit for 20 years. I mean, you got to put in your work,
No
your
kidding.
passion,
Yes.
that struggle. I mean,
Mhm.
I've slept on couches. I've been broke and hungry and, and started over at least 5 times in my life,
Where,
So,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
they just see where you are
and-
now.
Exactly. And they just
Yes.
see where I'm,
Right.
and
And they
it's-
want it. But guess what? That's good. You can tell them that.
And not that
It's-
they want mine,
it's
but they
possible
want
to get.
what
Yeah.
I have.
Right.
And they want it too, and I'm
Right.
like, you got to work your ass off. I mean, I
Right.
work, 8 to 12-hour days sometimes,
Mhm.
to get to where I'm at. And that's,
Where do you style at?
it's called the Society.
His
It's in the
own
design
salon.
district.
Salon.
Yes.
Brand new. You
Oh, wait,
should
which
Yeah.
one?
see
It's
it.
the Society Salon.
I've heard of that. Where are y'all?
It's in the design district, right
Oh,
off of
that's-
Oak Lawn Avenue.
That's
kind
so
of close
neat.
to Town Hearth.
That is so neat.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to
It's
have
an
you
amazing place.
come
Yeah,
check
you
it
should-
out.
I
Check it
will. I will. I
You
would
can
love
interview
to.
me.
Yeah, well, we might have that opportunity.
I would love that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wait till
How
you
fun.
see that salon. You will love it.
Oh,
It
gosh.
is
You found-
incredible.
Did you start it?
Yes.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Who do you have a partner or are you by your
I do. I have a business partner. They're kind of silent. They,
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them silent.
Yeah.
You run the show. Okay.
I love that.
Oh,